Thank you for visiting the Africa Rising Cycling Podcast, where we share the big and most interesting cycling stories from across the continent of Africa and from around the world where African cyclists are racing and riding. Africa Rising is a nonprofit organization committed to helping young African male and female athletes get their shot at racing professionally or developing other roles in the cycling ecosystem. Our second key focus is to be the independent voice of African cycling globally, sharing the stories of these athletes and other related developments via our active social media channels, including our new podcast.
Today we're sharing an interview we had with Sarah Manai of the BBC World Service's NewsDay programme about some of the exciting transfer activity in African cycling in the last month or so, and a preview of the UCI Africa Tour races on the continent in 2026.
Joining us now live is Jeremy Ford, journalist specialising in African cycling. Good morning, Jeremy.
Hey, Sarah, good morning.
Jeremy, it has been a busy transfer window for African cycling, with Eritrea still opening the way, leading the way when it comes to cycling on the continent, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We're still in the middle of the transfer window, but we've got 30 African men and women already signed now for professional teams around the world, and more coming through every day. I think the big news was Eritrea's Biniam Gamai. He's switched to the NSN cycling team, and we're expecting him to have a really big year on that team. There's a lot of great riders around him. And he's joined in the World Tour in the men's side by 3 other Eritreans. But then on the women's side, we had Mauritius's Kim de Court, who had an incredible year in 2025, where she wore the Tour de France yellow jersey, I think longer than any other African man or woman. So we're expecting her to have a great year as well.
So apart from her and Biniam Girmay, of course, who else should we keep our focus and attention on this season, you think?
I think the most exciting news is the 2 junior Africans who did so well at the World Championships in Rwanda back in September. Both of those, on the women's side and the men's side, have been picked up by really big teams. So Siga Kase Kiros of Ethiopia, she's joined the Canyon Tram Zonda Crypto Generation team, and they are a feeder team for the Tour de France team. So that could be really exciting on the women's side. And then another Eritrean, Nahom Ephraim, he's joined the men's Bikeaid team, which is one of the world's leading continental teams as well. So there's some great news on the junior side.
Some exciting news. Jeremy, what can you tell us now about the Africa Tour? The calendar was confirmed in the last couple of days. What can you tell us about what is it to be looking forward to in 2026?
Yeah, absolutely. We always talk about cycling around the world, but the Africa Tour is very important. This is obviously the group of all the races across the continent. So you have multi-stage races. In fact, there are 7 of those in 2026. So this will be tours in Algeria, Benin, 2 in Cameroon, 1 in Mauritius and 1 in Rwanda. It's very exciting as well that there's a women's tour of Burundi, which has existed for a long time, but that's now moved up to what they call the UCI classification status, which means it's recognised as an international race. And obviously alongside that, you have around 20 national championships. There'll be 4 Grand Prix races, which are one-day races for men and women. And obviously the African Continental Championships, which we're still waiting for a date as well.
Jeremy, thank you so much. That was African cycling journalist Jeremy Ford speaking to us live this morning. And for more sport, as ever, head to the BBC Sport website. That is bbc.com/sport. And I'll be back in about half an hour's time.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Africa Rising Cycling Podcast. Please do keep an eye on all our Africa Rising Cycling social media channels for more news and stories, and we look forward to welcoming you back for another episode very soon.